How's it going there, YouTubers? It's Mr. Zen over here with a brand new Bleach chapter review. And for today's segment, we're going to be talking about Bleach chapter 678. Now, when you're reading this chapter, it's actually very different from all the other chapters that we read so far. And by that I mean, this one's actually, it felt longer. It wasn't as short as all the previous chapters that Bleach has been showing these past couple weeks. Kind of glad about that too, to be honest. Because of the fact that the pacing might have either been too quickly, or maybe people have been reading it too fast, or is it just me? Maybe I've been reading it too fast, But just the fact that I actually enjoyed this chapter very much because the fact that it kind of left me interested now. This fight is actually now being very interested in the fact that Ichigo has finally released his bankai, but yet I'm sorry for laughing, but I like the fact that where Ichigo went with this, and he really did give us a tease at his bankai, but yet at the same time he didn't show nothing at all. And I laughed at the fact that Kubo, you're the man. I'm sorry, man. Like, you know how to make me come back to read your chapters every now and then, I swear. Because when you look at this chapter, Ichigo releases his bankai, and yet at like one panel next, that's it. Your watch is just done. He just kills his bankai. Like, legitimately, I don't know what he does. Like, either like slices his bankai in half, his bankai sword. I'm sorry, his Tensa Zangetsu. He just slices it in half, or he stops time and just maybe broke the fourth wall or something along the line because of that. Because there's nothing really happening in this chapter at the same time. It was just pure speculation and just pure dialogue throughout Ichigo and Yawak face it. But it was dialogue that was actually like helpful. Ichigo was actually pondering at the fact that what's going on, what just happened to me, that the fact that my bankai broke. A lot of viewers, when they're going to read this chapter, they're going to be really focused on the fact that, what did I just read? Because when I first read this chapter, I actually was very surprised, and I thought, did I miss something? I had to literally go back and forth and see if like maybe the scanlators or the translators, they might have skipped a page or two or something, because the fact that you literally see Ichigo's swords just got done in half, and you're here thinking, wow, what just happened here? Like, did something happen on with the scanlators, or maybe Tide Kubo might have done some kind of error, and maybe the editor saw that something, I personally thought like it was something wrong with the chapter, but no, when you continue down the long line, you actually see that no, it was actually part of the story, which I kind of find hilarious that Tide Kubo went along with that route. But it's interesting the fact that Ichigo still hasn't shown off any of his bankai or any of his new moves, except the fact that he can use his holified powers now with his Shinigami powers. But other than that, nothing else so far happened in this chapter. But Yawak has stated the fact that his power is not really to see the future, but it's actually to change the future. Which I thought to myself, hold on. Like, just hold on a minute. If he can change the future, that either means that he's stopping time and he's moving on to different realities, kind of like similar to Byakugan from Katekyo Hitman Reborn, where he literally it felt like very similar to me because of the fact that that character in Katekyo Hitman Reborn, he can actually go through different parallel worlds and say, you know what, this is going to happen, and I'll use that information from that different parallel world to my knowledge, so that way I can use it in my own universe to combat whatever events that might transpire or events that might even happen. And that's the way I feel that Yawak is actually going the wrong route with that, because of the fact that if Yawak can change the future, that means he's either stopping time, or he's actually bringing an alternate reality to himself, or he's actually maybe, how do I say, he's going to different realities, going zigzagging back and forth in the different parallel worlds, and he's actually looking at them and saying, okay, this is going to be happening, so let me get the information and let me just use it on this plane, so that way I know what will happen. That's what I'm personally thinking, because the fact that it just reminds me of that little, I would say, that little events that are transpiring. Which kind of makes sense, too, at the same time, because Ichigo's sword got done in the minute he did bankai, and which Yawak really, he even stated in the chapter that, your bankai looks very fearsome, and that's why I concluded the fact that, I have to do this in order for me to win this battle. And I thought to myself, holy snap, Yawak is actually scared of Ichigo now, and that goes along to show something that Ichigo is literally a fearsome opponent. and Yawak is carefully planning his steps. See, now I see why Yawak is not really taking care of Ichigo. It's because he's actually looking in the fact that he's trying to see what Ichigo's actually trying to do. So technically, he's actually waiting on his Ichigo. Now that is really hilarious because Yawak is not going to do nothing until Ichigo does something. That's what Yawak is doing this whole entire fight. Because if he does something, that means he's changing the future that might actually happen. Now that kind of threw my mind that like Tite Kubo, like, he is good at storytelling. I'm not gonna lie to you folks. It's just that we have to it's just, I guess it's because I would say the chapters are going progressively very slowly at the battle and just pure dialogue. But now I'm starting to see that Tite Kubo is actually writing a pretty good story. Like I can see what Yawak is now doing, and his power is basic. Like he actually stated, his power is to see the future and to change it. But because of the fact that he has to look at to see what might happen, Ichigo has to move first. It's literally a chess game. That's the way I'm seeing it now. And that's really great in the fact that Yawak is carefully planning out his tricks. But just the thing that I didn't really like is just that he keeps setting traps. Why do you gotta set traps? If you're so powerful, you don't need to set traps. That's the one thing I never understood about Yawak. Why do you have to do that? You know, you're just kind of setting yourself up for failure right there. But other than that, great chapter. It was amazing. The dialogue was perfect. And now Ichigo actually has fear now because of the fact that he doesn't know what else to do. Which kind of goes along to say that maybe Ichigo doesn't even have anything else to put up his sleeve. Or maybe he does. But that goes along the line with Orihime now. Can Orihime help out Ichigo? Because, you know, Yawak hasn't been looking at Orihime. To me, it looks like he's been ignoring her. His focus is on Ichigo. So if Ichigo is his main concern of attack, that means that he can't tell what Orihime is doing because of the fact that she can also alter time as well, because she's basically like a third-party source that's kind of invisible to him. Which I thought to myself, okay, Orihime, when are you going to shine in these past couple of chapters, or in the next chapters? How are you going to go through with this? Because of the fact that when you look at Orihime, yes, her powers do stop time or reverse time, but she never goes forward in time, you could say. Which I thought to myself, maybe if she does if she releases another power that hasn't been revealed yet and tells Ichigo, you know, I'll transport you to a previous time so you can know. Maybe that's what's going to happen. Or Hime's going to let Ichigo fight with Yawak, and then, you know, it says, you know what, let me, Ichigo, this is the last resort. I'm gonna teleport you back in time, so that way when you get inside again with Yawak, you'll know what's going on. Which will kind of send off kind of like a paradox moment in itself, because Yawak also knows that what might happen. So it will kind of contradict each other in the little world. Like I said before, Yawak knows what's going on, but he's waiting on Ichigo. So like I said, it's one stepping stone. They're just doing stepping stones back and forth. If that's the case, that's going to be really happening. Unless Orihime is gonna go and attack Yawak and actually stop him from reaching a point in time. Maybe that can help out as well. But I'm just speculating here at the same time, because of the fact that Tite Kubo is progressing the chapters very slow. With this chapter, it was a lot of dialogue. Previous chapters was just all flashy showmanship on Ichigo and everything, because the fact that most of the panels that Tite Kubo has been showing has been mostly like detailed and colored panels for Ichigo, of course, but probably mostly to show how Ichigo looks like. But that's all I know for now. Love the chapter. Love where the route's going now. I see now where Tite Kubo is kind of pinpointing, you could say. But folks, let me know what you guys think of the chapter. Maybe I am wrong at what I'm saying right now about how he's actually waiting on Ichigo and they're basically trying to see who. It's like a snail. Yawak is basically letting time itself move forward in order for him to say, okay, you know, okay, I could do this and he'll do this. It's basically like a chess game. I could be wrong, like I said. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think I'm right and Yawak is just waiting for the final moment, or does Ichigo have to go into another paradox universe or parallel universe as well, and maybe then decide on the fact that his inconsistency will decide on Yawak's decisions? But let me know, guys, because I personally don't know. But maybe that's where I'm kind of going with this, because of the fact that it's a time now. It's a time game. That's what this chapter is really going for. But like I said, folks, let me know what you guys think about this chapter. Let me know what you guys think Orihime might do in the next couple of chapters. Let me know if Ichigo might have a new power that maybe I might have missed something too. But don't forget, guys, if you guys enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe. But this is Mr. Zen, signing out.